So, there's been a lot of talk about how the Barbarian kind of is inferior in the in the damage department, and how how they don't have any tools to deal with it, how they can get crowd controlled, etc. And I'm in this uh, this this dungeon called Mallwood, just as a reference to like what could happen. You know, this is I beat the game already. I've basically played all the beta on a 25 Barbarian, and this is like my it's not even optimized setup. It's a somewhat suboptimal setup, and this is what I have currently, right? This is the life I have. Everything's legendary because I wanted to get the achievement, and it wasn't too hard in the beta to just get enough of these like items, basically. So this is all the crap I just picked up, and this is just a random thing. So we're just gonna go into a boss fight. It's gonna probably be low FPS, but we're gonna and I'll show you that it doesn't need to be difficult, really. Playing on World 2, by the way. That's the maximum setting of it. This is just, I mean, deleted, right? That's not a boss, but let's see. Gone. Let's see something else. This is, I mean, Conduit is not really part of it, but we might as well use it while we have it. Like this lag though. Yeah. It's not really hard now, is it? I mean, and like I said, this is not an optimal build, but let's get to the boss. Let's see. I mean, these things are pretty tanky sometimes. It's just been a lot of discussion about how the bard is kind of suboptimal a lot of the times, and I think gear is a lot of it. It's a lot of the reason why it's not as optimal, and also talents. A lot of it is to do with like proccing Berserker, the Berserker's ability to Berserking, or like its ability to like gain more burst damage, basically. And these enemies are actually healing. And also, since I'm streaming, I'm obviously not having the best of like FPS right now. But and my stream setup is not very good. It's not a massive like computer system. And I'm barely paying attention. I could actually be looking and reading and stuff. Like, I'm looking at my OBS from time to time, just because I'm recording with it. But you have like 4 or 5 potions. I mean, gone, right? Rare enemy. Wow, sugoi. Just need to get to the boss so we can show this stuff basically. And these are all 25 enemies. They're all on World 2 25. I can't do Torment obviously because I haven't. I'm still playing open beta. Last day of open beta basically. That's what it is. I need an item. Oh. What is this thing? Maybe. Boom. Two more, huh? Alright. Let's see.
I'm out of fury.
So, these things, I don't know, man, they're sort of what they are. I mean, they're really tanky, but also this thing isn't like, it's not getting into a vulnerable state. Oh, there's a 200 mace. Oh, need one more. And then we can go smash up a boss. Oh, there's a shrine up here. We'll grab that. Boom, boom. Oh, another little... Let's see what we got here. Need just one more thing. There it is. Skeleton construct. Let's do it. Boom. Leap. Yeah, so like, oh, he teleported away or some bullshit. Okay, so there you go. See you later. Lots of relics right now dropping. Let's see, we got these 3 here. Double swing garbage. It's not bad. Okay. So, I guess that was it. We could go do the spider battle then, I guess. Just to have a bit more, just to show that it's not really that bad. As long as you have the gear and the proper setup, you can deal with the enemies even if they're ranged. Let's see. I know this is in particular this one boss here. Let's see what it's at. Defiled Catacombs, right? Because this is a boss that for a lot of people it's hard, like early on with the range and with like basically the web that it's got and all that kind of stuff. That is a bit difficult with the barb because he doesn't like getting like crowd controlled. He wants to get in there and smash some face. Basically, that's his one saving grace is you gotta go all in, pretty much. And if you go all in, you end up in the pools. Uh, when you end up in the pools, it's, you know, it's just, it sucks for the barbs to stand in the pools, but you know, standing in the pools is not as bad as it is. You know, it's not as bad. It's gonna be hard on harder difficulties if you don't have the resistance or some way to negate the pools, but it's okay. It's not as bad. Like, it's like you have to, like, for most people the bard is not about being like the most optimal build, you know. It's more like the how fun it is, you know. And I would say the Barbarian is quite fun. It's quite fun to play him, you know, because it's just pure violence, pure like pure just direct damage and all that kind of stuff. It is. I think it's fun. You know? Like, I was afraid that the Barbarian wouldn't be fun to play, and I was actually pleasantly surprised, I would say, all things considered. You know, it could be much worse. Sure, a lot of the enemies try to dodge your attacks or whatever, or run away from you and crowd control you, and etc, etc. There was some long CCs, I will say. There was some very long CCs, some crowd controls that really caused a bit of disruption in how I looked at the game. Because it's just, I don't know, it wasn't as fun because like I was stuck in this like stunned state where I couldn't. I'm not even using Warcry. I could have gone with Warcry for extra damage and stuff. Like, and sure, like looking at the single damage just from my hits here is not as impressive, but it's mostly also due to the fact that my weaponry and gear are not that maximized right now. But you can even go like, you can even max out the skill damage on special skills, if you want to. There's gems for that, so you could go like, you could maybe gain, I don't know, several 20% or something just to the ultimates, and then you could have cooldowns. Like, it's all what you want to do, really. Like, how do you want to approach and how do you want to approach your build for your barb? And there's many ways to do it. But I will say the one that I have is kind of like optimized around that synergy where basically it kind of handles some of the problems the barbs have with longevity and like ranged enemies, basically. You know? Yeah. Yeah, that's essentially it. It handles like these problems with ranged and the pool damage and all that stuff, and getting out of problems where there is some. And that's what was my train of thought with the Barbarian. It's like, how do I make him more durable and more, how do I deal with the issues that he has, which is, oh, this is not good. Oh. how do I deal with like the actual problems in the game, which is like distance and like ranged enemies, and also just look, these guys just died to my thorns damage. Didn't even have to hit him. But like it's really up to you how like oh, that's another one. It's really up to you how like how bad you want to make your build, I guess, because you could make it in such a way that you are really gonna struggle, but getting to the enemy, you can, you know, glass cannon build it where like where like he just cannot survive anything, right? Like he has nothing but damage. He has no mitigation of damage. He has no recovery of damage. Like I actually even picked a talent point or whatever that actually heals other people, I think. So like with my shout, basically I heal people around me instead of myself, I think. I don't think it gives me any healing. But yeah. It's what it is. It's like oh my god, these are dropping like crazy right now. But yeah, so like I think it is really to do with the beta has a very increased drop rate. I need to get rid of some of this nonsense that's popping up. Couldn't even see what was going on there, actually. Okay. Alright, that was weird. But, I mean, it's a beta. Things will happen. Wow. Okay. I'm still here though. I mean, I'm surviving it, so. Enemies, whatever. It is a little rough with the recording and all that stuff. But you know, it is what it is. Yatagun. Yet again, a Yatagun. Alright, let's see. We need to kill one more of these skeletal constructs and then we can do a boss and you can see the damage basically. I'm just live recording all this shit right now, so it's not being streamed, it's just being live recorded. But basically, I need to smash one more skeletal construct here, and then I guess I could edit or upload the whole thing as a video. However, it's probably terrible laggy and all that stuff. No, I had to record it in some way. So. Part of me is just not even paying attention to like the enemies, actually, because I'm just paying attention to other things, like the recording stuff on my other screen. Let's see, where's the skeletal construct? So we can. Oh, there's the boss fight. And another thing is, people talked about. They talked about how samey some of the dungeons were, but I don't know, I kind of enjoyed it somewhat. It's okay. I don't mind this as much. the crafting isn't as bad either. There's been a lot of like just really negative comments about like crafting and stuff. I kind of like it. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Obviously, build diversity will not be as, I don't know, won't be as wide, I guess you could say. So I mean that's a problem, I guess. It won't be as wide, but it also will make the build that you choose more like your own still, regardless of the fact, because like maybe there's a specific build that's the best, but I never go for those. Oh shit, look at that. Well, that's not good. That's actually really annoying because I was hoping to get to the boss fight. If I can't get in there now, let's see. No, maybe we're good. We'll see. I hope it didn't fucking boot me out of the boss. We'll see. Because otherwise I have to start over, basically. Yeah, we're down. Alright, that sucks. That actually sucks. That kind of sucks. Let's try it again, I guess. Shit. Do I still have a lair I haven't done somewhere? Let's see, something easy. I don't know, man. That kind of screwed up the process here. I guess I'll pause for now and then see if I can get a boss fight recorded maybe later so I can show more of it. Alright, let's see if we can't deal with this boss. We're back after getting through the dungeon a little bit. It took me a little bit. I'm kind of also racing with time here. Shit, we need a key for the gatekeeper. Blah, blah, blah. Come and give me that.
I'm not ready yet.
There's key. Screw these items right now. Alright. Alright, there we go. So, if it doesn't disconnect here, I'm going to show you exactly how to deal with this bullshit here. Look at the Broodguard's health. That's 50%. I'm stuck. Jump. Boom. Health. Some little bit of poison on me. So we gotta survive for like 27 seconds. I'm stuck right here. That's fine. Whatever. I'm stuck here. That's fine. Well, so she's getting into the danger area of her health area now, so you're gonna see some crazy damage on her now. Like when I can show you here. Like watch when my fucking guardians come out. Look at the damage. Gone. There it is. Just gone. I mean, that wasn't very hard. Whoa, I'm stuck. But yeah, it's not that difficult if you have the tools to deal with the boss. if you don't have the tools to deal with the boss, you're making it a really uphill battle. Like, if she's over here, you know, on the right, you can't get there, now you're there. I mean, and you can ignore the rest of the ads if that's the case, if you just want to get to her. Like, what I'm using is not necessarily the most optimized setup, and it's not necessarily the most optimized gear either. But it is something that I went through in the beta, obviously. Eventually, that when I got to her first, she was really difficult, the Broodguard. But I didn't have a lot of mobility tools. I didn't have leap. I didn't have artifacts that stun enemies. Basically, when they're when they're distant, you have this like stun proc, obviously, and then you have extra skill damage. This I don't even use this effect because I'm not really using kick or ground stomp right now. That's just thorns build, shield. This is just extra fortify, and skills just grant damage reduction. Like, you know, the more you work with this gear, the better you make it, the easier off you're gonna be against really tricky enemies. Cause like up close, the spider boss isn't really that
Halt.
isn't really that difficult
Don't go any further.
to deal with, right? She's kind of like
Don't go any further.
a threat from afar, and when you have the tools to deal with that, well, then you have the tools to deal with everything, pretty much, right? So it's just set up your bard the way you want. Like, there are plenty of other builds you could try. AoE, long range. There might be axe throwing. I don't freaking know. I barely touched the skill tree, but this is where I got to. And like, this is the ancient's super powerful. You know, it's a super powerful skill. It's very short duration, but if I imagine in higher level they're gonna make this much more powerful with other artifacts. You know, my iron skin is for survivability, and you know, I could go through the skill tree real quick if you want to see it. Oh fuck! How the fuck? There. There we go. I think I have 1 point in frenzy. I should have more in frenzy actually. Like, I didn't even get to the frenzy berserking stuff. But you know what? With more points, you know, you're able to this is for making enemies vulnerable. You can definitely like increase a lot of the survivability and a lot of the options for like thorns, barb, and I'm sure there's something that's going to be much more impactful later on. Raid leader, I don't even think this is helping me, to be honest. This is only for other people. Like, I could have gotten more duration on my shouts. Leap in, I don't even have a mod on the leap in. This could actually slow the spider, or you could use it as fury gain. But yeah, Call of the Ancients, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, while this is maybe not the most optimized build, it can definitely deal with the spider here. It's without, at this point, with the gear here, it's really not that difficult. And the damage, as you can see, is quite you know, quite sufficient, and like, it's still fun to play. So I understand that, like, the frustration I had that I came here the first time with the Broodguard, it really was a thing. It definitely was a thing. So I don't know, man. Play the barb. It's fun. It is. Or play any other class if you want to go with like a hyper glass cannon kind of sword build. That's fine too. You know, it's the sword for me. I always wanted to play the melee class because I don't know. I wanted it to be harder. I want not like if I could just throw down like spells that one shot the enemy or whatever. That would just make it less fun for me. Um, I kind of sure you go for the most optimized thing, but I try to tend to like sway away from the more like cookie cutter build things. I want to experience some more original things and like that. But there it is. There it is. I mean the barb. There's many other things you could have done. Iron Maelstrom, you could Wrath, Death Blow, you could go for Bleed, possibly a stun build with Kick. There's Charge to become unstoppable, Rallying Cry. I think this is probably the worst one in my opinion, although it does give you resources. Whirlwind's it's kind of okay for like crowd clear, and it's been like a staple, but I don't know if Whirlwind really is that good in this. I mean, it can become good, but I don't know. I went with a different approach this time. I would say, definitely, what is it, Warcry. If you want like to go for full-on damage builds, that's 15. Just in this rank, it's 15% extra damage. That's a significant damage buff. Whereas I went with something that's like you're more tanky, right? And it also helps out your Thorn build. So like, if you're going for Thorns, this is definitely the way to go. I don't know, so if you're going for more single target damage, you can go for Warcry and other things, like maybe Earthquake or whatever, like things like that, Ground Stomp, Earthquake. I don't know what this really works with, but the Iron Maelstrom's interesting though. It's got a 1 minute cooldown, whereas this is shorter. Wrath of the Berserker, again, this gives you Berserking and Unstoppable, but there's other ways to gain Berserking and Unstoppable. There are other ways to get that. You don't have to go Wrath of the Berserker. You could do Iron Maelstrom and then get Berserking and Unstoppable from Charge or something else. So, last thoughts on this. I think the Barbard is fun. The crafting's okay. I mean, it's okay fun, and the crafting is I mean, it's very transformative. You have your transmorphs and stuff, but it's not as interesting as the D3 just Hail Mary bullshit where you can do whatever you want. But yeah, it is fun. So that's it. That's all I have to say about that. And have fun out there, boys. See you in 3 months when Diablo 4 becomes a thing. Peace.